Hello my friends, welcome back to our blind let's play of Ever 17 for the PC, The Out of Infinity. My name is FlightlessBird, this is your story-based gaming channel, and today's been an interesting day because I did about 15 minutes of this episode and then bad things happened and I lost everything. So now I've got to restart. I am shooting this about 4 hours later in the day, so hopefully all the issues I was having earlier are gone. Hopefully the weather's cleared up and everything will be working fine now. But with that said, I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, and let's not waste any more time because I want to get back into this because I was in a groove there for a while and then I just suddenly had a unfortunate stop, which all the dots. Yes, this is exactly how I feel. All the dots. We get it. Yes, we get it. Could it be? I thought for a second. What if I tilt it? I thought that if I tilted it a little, I might be able to see something. Do you guys see it? Because I didn't see this. We had to tilt it so it's completely vertically. And that looks like Japanese characters to me. I got it. Listen, if you take the paper and set it like this. Although, because I don't speak Japanese, I don't know what this means. And the translation they give, I don't know if that's the translation for this line of dialogue. Because, you know, being an American, I look at a letter and I think, okay, well, this is a letter, this is a letter, this is a letter. But I know in Japanese, that's not true. Like, I think this is a symbol for no. Not N-O as in no thank you, but the word no in Japanese. I think this is a character that signifies a letter or two letters, but these symbols here, the kanji, I believe that's a word. So it's just something that I don't recognize. And if you know, let me know in the comment section below because I'm always looking to expand my cultural... I'm always expanding culturally and trying to learn more about other people, the way they live, the way they talk, languages. I find it fascinating. I think it's just great. So anyway, I got it. Listen, if you take the paper and set like this, what? Let's see. The empty fall sky, a single cuckoo calls out, brings a chill to me. Yeah, like I said, I have no idea if that's what it actually means or not. You have to let me know. What is this? What? Let me see that. You grabbed a slip of paper from my hand. Then she copied me and set the paper sideways in the same way. You're right. Amazing. Really amazing, kid. You grabbed my hand and shook it happily. But she didn't stop there. She pulled me in close in a big bear hug. Squeeze. My face was pressed hard against her bust. It was a nice fit. A little too nice. I struggled for air. I give up. Have mercy. I almost felt dangerously excited by her softness. We did it. Yeah. Finally, you let me go. She jumped around gleefully like a rabbit. I was glad she was happy, even as she did almost crush me. Watching you all happy like that seemed to wash away all my irritation and fatigue. The stress I was feeling simply faded away. I was like the winter frost melting away under the spring sun. I have no idea how the big giant blocks though turn into that. I mean, that's really, like, what? I get it now, you can't see it from right above it. But if you look from the side, I see it now. But why do you suppose it came out a barcode like this? The printer is probably in a bad shape. A really bad shape. You think so? It's hard to believe that would make a print like this. I don't care about that now. Anyway, as long as I have the password, things are fine. The empty fall sky, a single cuckoo calls out, brings a chill to me.
ったものだと思う。
I think it's a variation of Masayoka Shiki's The Empty June Sky, a single cuckoo calls out, brings a chill to me.
だから正しい読み方はおそらく
So if I input it like this,
海月の虚空に涼しホトトギス。
The empty false sky, a single cuckoo calls out, brings a chill to me. Wow.
よし、それじゃあこのフレーズを試してみるよ。
Alright, let's try this for a password. A recharge you face the screen triumphantly. But
海月の虚空に涼しホトトギス。
okay then. Access denied. Invalid name or password. But she still couldn't get into the sea level information. And then suddenly,
あれ
what in the screen went black. What just happened?
わからないけど認証画面から強制排出されちゃったみたい。
I don't know, but it looks like it automatically shut down the authorization screen. Huh? After a moment, the screen returned to normal. You pecked away at the keyboard and called up the authorization screen again. Access denied. Cannot log in with the given name at this time.
え、何それ。
What? What is this? She tried it again. The result was the same. What does this mean?
何度もパスワードを間違えたからプロテクトが作動しちゃったんじゃないかな。
Maybe I entered the wrong password too many times and activated some kind of protection. See, I don't think that's true. I fully believe that was Sora doing this because the game told us that she tried a ton of different passwords and a ton of variation of a password and anagrams of a password. So the fact that she tried so many times and it just magically happened to cancel on a password that we probably are getting close to, that just strikes me as there's something else going on here. And I say Sora because I don't know of anyone else that would have the power to do this. So I'm thinking Sora in some way is locking her out to protect the secrets of Lieblich Pharmaceuticals.
つまりレミの方からお母さんの名前でのアクセスを完全に遮断されてるってこと。
In other words, Lemmy has completely denied access to my mom's name. So
そう、しばらくの間は諦めるしかないってことね。
we'll have to give up for the time being, I guess. You shrugged exaggeratedly.
せっかく苦労して解読してくれた少年には悪いんだけど。
And you went to so much trouble to read this for me, kid. Ah, that's what friends do.
そもそもこの句がそのままパスワードであるという保証はどこにもないんだよね。
But from the start, there was no guarantee that what's on the paper is a password.
むしろこの句自体はただのヒントで、お母さんはこの句から連想する何かをパスワードにしていたと考えるのが妥当だと思う。
It would make more sense if this was some kind of hint that my mom uses to remember the password.
そうじゃなきゃマシンの中にパスワードと銘打って保存しておくのはあまりにも危険すぎるよ。
It wouldn't make much sense to call the file password, otherwise it would be too dangerous. Yeah, that's true, but at the same time, the fact that it completely shut down on us means we're getting close and someone doesn't want us in. All the dots. I wonder why Yu's mom would choose that poem. I wonder what was hidden in the 17 syllables of it. There was no answer or end to my questions. A while after that, we heard from Takeshi that repairs on the warehouse had been completed with no problems. We finally gathered again in the conference room. Aww, look the little fishies here. Such a great picture. We were killing time. We still couldn't think of any way to escape. Still, we didn't want to feel like we were completely wasting our time. So we all decided to wander around Lemieux one more time. As we made the rounds, Takeshi said, what do you think the record is for running from one end of Lemieux to the other? I think we should try to give the tuna sandwiches a completely new flavor. He made a number of stupid comments. We all, with the exception of Segumi, of course, listened, half exasperated and half interested. We all knew. As long as we were doing something, it kept our minds off things we couldn't change. Like about how there was no way out, or remembering where we were. We decided to meet at 8 p.m. for dinner. Everyone was left to wander around freely until then, abnormally normal. I decided to help you try to repair the infirmary scanning machine. Of course, it was kind of an indirect thank you to her for looking after me when I was feeling down 2 days before.
さてと、それじゃあ始めますか。
Alright then, shall we get started? You plopped down on the floor with the tools and parts, spreading out the repair manual. Of course, the repairs were Yu's job. I was just there to help. I was getting used to handing her the tools and was getting better at predicting which tool would be used next. I thought that if there were an exam for expertise in handling pliers or screws, I would pass with flying colors. But the repairs were tougher than I imagined.
うーん。
You grunted as she stared at the diagram. You still haven't figured it out?
うるさいよ。ちょっと黙っててくれる？
Well, maybe if you'd be quiet, I might.
ここでもないし。
It's not here. All the dots. She searched all over but couldn't find the cause of the problem. You said everything looked normal. In other words, there was no sign of anything broken. What is it we're trying to fix? Trying to fix, the broken LMRI? Where's it at? Repair the infirmary scanning machine. Okay.
あー、もうこっちきしょ。ちっともわからへん。
Jeez, this good for nothing, stupid, idiotic. When something doesn't work, you can expect you to try to kick it. All of a sudden, you lost your cool, pounded on the diagram, and kicked the toolbox. Yep. Hey, that's not very, grown-up of you. All the dots. You know, you could ask Sora about how to fix it later. All the dots. Hey, you wanna clean up for now?
すまんです。
Oh, sorry.
あれ、二人ともこんなとこにいたのか。
Hey, so here the two of you are. Oh, hey, Takeshi.
倉成こそこんなところになんのよ。
What are you doing here, Kiranari?
俺は単なる野暮用だよ。目の覚める薬でももらおうかと思ってね。
Nothing really. I just thought I'd get it some coffee or something to wake me up.
そういう You は少年と何やってるんだ？
What about you two? What are you and the kid up to?
見てわかんないの？
You can't tell by looking?
わかんねえから聞いてんの。
Well, if I could, do you think I'd be asking? Oh, that's a good point. Takeshi, do you think you could lend us a hand?
ああ、別に構わないぜ。落ちてるものを拾えばいいのか？
Sure, I can do that. You want help picking up this stuff? Yeah. We split up and started picking up the tools, throwing it around the room. Screwdrivers and screws had flown all the way to the walls. All the dots.
これで全部かな。
Do you think we got everything? No, there's one more right there. There was something in the corner.
よっと。なんだこれ。
Hey, what's this? Takeshi picked up something that looked like an electric plug. No, it was an electric plug. The cable continued, disappearing under the floor. It was embedded there. All the dots. Oh, the double dots.
どれの電源だろうな、これ。
I wonder what this is supposed to power. And the wall was an outlet, the same as in the home. Takeshi struck the plug into the wall. Hey, something is moving.
なんだ、あの機械の電源だったのか。
Oh, hey, it looks like it was to that machine over there. All the dots. Which means
そういうことみたいよ。
it would appear unplugged. So wait, the scanning machine was never plugged in? That's why it wasn't working? Huh?
なあ、ところでよ。
Hey, by the way, Takeshi shot a question at me and you, who were speechless.
何やってたんだっけ、お前ら。
What are you doing here anyway? that's kind of funny. I remember I was working with a colleague, and they called me into the office for help a few years ago because they couldn't get the computer working, and they know that I'm pretty good with computers. And of course, I start with the first question, which is it plugged in? And she said, yeah, of course it's plugged in. Do you think I would do all this if I didn't check if it was plugged in or not? So I walked around and I looked at the plug and it wasn't plugged in. And I was like, yeah, there's your problem. And it's just one of those things that we don't think of because it's so obvious, you know? What are you doing here anyway? Just a lot of dots.
Huh?
Just then, somebody else appeared. It was Tsugumi. But when she saw us, she hissed at us. She clicked her tongue in an irritated way and turned to leave the room. The door opened again immediately. This time it was Sarah. It could have been my imagination, but she looked kind of angry about something. Sarah stood her ground, blocking the exit so that Tsugumi couldn't leave.
どいて。
Out of the way.
逃げてばかりいないで答えてよ。
Quit running away and answer.
どきなさい。
I said out of the way. Seems like the two girls are in a fight.
答えてってば。
I said, give me an answer. It seemed like the two of them were fighting. But I wonder why. I couldn't think of any reason the two of them would want to fight. What are they arguing about?
そんなに大声出したらあの3人に聞こえるわよ。
If you keep shouting, the three of them will hear. Hear what?
別に構わないでしょ。
I don't care. Oh, the dots.
おい、二人ともどうしたんだよ。
Hey, you two, what's up? Takeshi asked that as he approached them.
それはこっちが聞きたいわね。
Well, that's what I want to know. Tsugumi said that mixed with a sigh. And then she gave Takeshi the evil eye.
あなたたち一体何を企んでいるの？
What are you all planning anyway?
何をって。それこそなんだよ。意味わかんねえこと言うなよ。
What are we? What are you planning? Stop with the nonsense already. Oh, the dots.
どうしたの？マヨ。
Hey, Mayo, what happened? Oh, the dots. You said it as if to calm Sarah's nerves. She still looked pretty riled up. She was staring at Tsugumi bitterly. Tsugumi? Oh, the dots. Huh? For an instant, I thought that Tsugumi's face twisted sadly.
さあ、どきなさい。
Now, get out of my way. As she turned around, Tsugumi tried to push Sarah out of the way. Sarah resisted.
そうやってあの人からも逃げたんだ。
Okay, she said a lot in like a few words. So what? Did you run away from him the same as you're trying to run away from me now? Who's him? Sarah said that as the two of them wrestled. Oh, the dots. Tsugumi stopped moving. It looked like she struck a chord.
やっぱりそうなんだ。
So you did. Oh, the dots. Sarah crossed her arms tightly.
最低。
You're disgusting.
最低だ。この人でなし。
You're inhuman. What is going on here? Tsugumi lifted up her right hand as if to hit Sarah. No! Can we just talk this out? But Takeshi grabbed her hand. Oh, good job, Takeshi.
おい、落ち着けって。
Hey, calm down. Sarah didn't miss her chance. Whoa! What is going on here? Sarah's open palm echoed on Tsugumi's cheek. Even Takeshi's like, whoa! What just happened? Exactly. You little... Ah! The raging Tsugumi threw off Takeshi and stole from Sarah whatever it was she was holding. She went to throw whatever it was she had against the wall. And now what's up with Tsugumi all of a sudden? But she stopped an instant before.
やめろ。
Step! Takeshi went to grab her arm. Tsugumi's arm went slack and something slipped to the floor. It clattered loudly. What is it? Something glittered as it bounced. It looked like a pendant. Sarah scooped up the pendant as if she were picking up a fragile piece of ice. Oh, the dots. Sarah's back quivered tensely. Sarah looked down, dropping her head. She squeezed her fist around the pendant.
マヨ。
You said it softly, but Sarah didn't appear to hear. Sarah lifted her face. What is going on here? Looks like a little, like almost a watch of some kind, doesn't it? She's crying. And look at Tsugumi's face, bending her up with that slap. Biting her lips, she glared at Tsugumi. Both of her eyes were welling up with tears. Oh, the dots. Oh, the dots. Sugumi stared coldly at Sarah as if looking down at her from far above. Sarah withstood the glare and stared back at Sugumi enraged. She continued to resist silently, trying not to shed tears, not to sob. The scene was just like how to put it? It was like the emotion that was about to explode to the surface had sunk away to nothingness. What is going on here? The next thing I knew, Sugumi had turned to leave the room. Sarah still focused her glare on Sugumi. I looked back and forth between the two of them. Finally, I left my eyes trail off after Sugumi. Yu was there to help Sarah. But first, I want to find out what the fight was all about. I ran out of the infirmary and called out to Sugumi. Hey, Sugumi? But she ignored me and headed for the corridor. Why does it always have to turn out like this? Even if I was tired of everything, I had no choice but to chase after her. Hey, wait! Oh, the dots. She shot me a glance but didn't slow her step. I said wait! I caught up to her and grabbed her arm, trying to stop her. But she shook off my hand. I told you never to touch me. Sorry. Oh, the dots. Then Sugumi started walking again as if nothing had happened. Wait, I want to know what happened! Still, I continued after her without giving up. I started talking to her as I walked next to her, peering at her face. Why are you fighting with Sarah? It's none of your business. Sugumi answered without looking at me, letting me know that my questions were unwanted. Don't go poking your nose into things that don't concern you. Well, how can this not concern me? I thought I had said enough. It really probably doesn't have anything to do with me. I don't have any right to go involving myself in people's private affairs. But still. No, well actually, it might have something to do with you. What? Oh, the dots. Sugumi strode away. I stood stunned for a moment. I soon pulled myself together and started after her again. No matter how much I called out to her, Sugumi didn't respond. At last, I caught up with her again. We were at the gate for boarding the jellyfish gondola. Finally, Sugumi stopped there. And it didn't look as though she had stopped there with any intention of riding the gondola. But it didn't look like she was going to move elsewhere either, or even sit down for that matter. Her eyes were just trained on the half-transparent gondola which was partially visible beyond the gate. Hey! Oh, the dots. It looked like she was completely ignoring me. You don't have to respond, just listen to what I'm going to say. Oh, the dots. I won't ask you to trust us anymore. But that doesn't mean that you have to fight with anyone. We're all in the same situation here. We have to help each other. Exactly. Can't we all just get along? Sugumi turned and faced me. What an insightful comment. Don't joke around. I'm just telling you exactly how I feel. Yeah, I have a feeling she's not the joking type. I figured that I should take the fact that she responded to me as a slight change in attitude. Yeah, that's a good point. I shot her another question. Why do you think we're your enemies? What reason could you possibly have? I've already told you, I can't trust you. You are all acting suspiciously. I don't know whether you're acting of your own will, but still. Whether we're acting of our own will? That's a weird way to put it. I don't get you. What exactly is suspicious? You're trying to do the exact same thing that you did before. When? The same as what before? If you really have lost your memory, then maybe you don't know. There's got to be something going on behind the scenes with this accident as well. You mean to tell me you've experienced the same thing as this before? Oh, the dots. Tsugumi stared at me intensely. I took her look as an affirmation. In that case, I wondered if the same held true for me. So, that means you can foresee what's going to happen, right?
Eh?
Huh? I'm right, aren't I? So it's not just me then. But how come I can see into the future all of a sudden? Wait, when did we get the ability to see into the future? Oh, the dots. See the future. No. The feeling I had was less one of seeing it and more like knowing the future, or possibly having experienced it before. Did I know it? Had I experienced it? Are we talking about the previous playthroughs? Why? But it can't have been the previous playthroughs because you could have done this playthrough first, right? That was because the same thing was happening again. What does that mean? That's it. What is it, kid? You've completely lost me, buddy. You and I must have traveled to the past, Tsugumi.
タイムスリップ
Traveled to the past? Yep. The theory I had hit upon excited me. I was sure. It almost had to be. I had the same sense. I know the future. Back at the generator room, I knew that the room had built up heat. And take this morning, I had a feeling that there would be trouble in the warehouse. And when I first met Sarah, I felt like I had experienced something like that before. I think I probably experienced the same thing in my past. Not to mention that we knew the code by tilting the paper. That seems really suspicious that we just jumped to that conclusion. Tsugumi just stared at me. I could clearly see that she was flustered. Hey, tell me your story. When I asked Tsugumi that, it was as if she snapped back to reality, her expression and the look in her eyes back to normal.
あなたに話を冗談でしょ
My story? What? Are you kidding?
あなたが奴らの仲間かもしれない以上あなたに手の内を明かすようなことなんてできないわね
As long as I can't tell if you're in this with the others, I won't tell you anything. All the dots. I felt dejected, like I had finally found someone that I could share my feelings with, but wouldn't.
いいこと前にも言ったけどこれ以上奴らには関わらない方が身のためよ
Listen, I told you before, it would be best for you if you stayed away from them.
もちろん私にも
And me too. Why?
あなたやけに理由にこだわるのよ理由なんてどうでもいいの
You really got bogged down in the why of things, don't you? The why is not important. She crossed her arms and said that forcefully.
でもあえて理由があるとしたらそれがあなた自身にとって最もいい結果をもたらすからよ
But if there is a reason, it's so that things turn out the best for you. All the dots.
例えば
For example,
あなたの記憶喪失だって奴らの仕業かもしれないのよ
your memory loss could be because of them. Huh? Well, that was a shocking idea. Her words just about stopped my heart for a second. What? There's no way. I had never even entertained that idea. Tsugumi turned to walk away from me, ignoring me in my state of dismayed confusion. I didn't have any power left to chase after her.
ああそうだそれともう一つ
Oh, and there is one more thing.
おしゃべりついでに私もその未来予知とやらをしてあげましょうか
As long as we're shooting the breeze, shall I predict a bit of the future for you? All the dots. I slowly lifted up my face and looked at Tsugumi. She looked serious all of a sudden. Tsugumi predicted that
このまま奴らに利用され続ければ
if you continue to let yourself be used by them,
7日に
on the 7th,
あなたは死ぬの
you will die. Okay, how... Is she just extrapolating that the place is probably going to fall apart on the 7th? And that's why she said on the 7th? But that seems so specific. Like, there's a time window there where it may not be the 7th. It may be the 6th, right? Or the 8th? It's plus or minus 12. What time? I would have to go back and look at what time everything is supposed to, like, go kablooey. Because if it's Yeah, because no matter what time it is, if it's 12 noon, it could happen at midnight or midnight the next day. Anyway, I trudged along looking down. That was a real downer. The light reflected cold and hard off the walls and floor. Sugumi's words echoed in my mind. Sugumi said not to trust Takeshi, you, and the others. That my lost memory was their fault as well. That their behavior was suspect. But I wondered if that would really be true. I didn't see how it could be. They all seemed trustworthy to me. The type of people you could really depend on. I had only spent a few days with them, but I was sure. Besides, even if she were right, there were lots of things that weren't inexplicable. If Takeshi and the others were scheming something, if they were trying to deceive Sugumi and me, then it should have been visible in the words and actions. There was no way that normal people could put on an act as elaborate as that. What if they're not normal? And what if they're machines? No, because that doesn't explain the life signs. You know, it'd be really freaky if like everyone in this place suddenly just vanished except for me and Sugumi. Like there was a trigger that was switched, flipped, and everyone is gone. Okay, now I'm creeped out. I really hope I can find someone soon because I don't want that to be true. If one or two were trying to lie, it might be possible, but even with my memory impaired, I would still be able to tell if they were all trying to do it. It seemed that you, Sarah, and everyone were reacting naturally as one might expect in each situation. So it didn't seem possible. It wasn't possible. The most impossible thing to explain was why the accident was caused. Why lie to Sugumi and me? There was no reason, and it would have been impossible anyway. I wondered if I was going to die. That was stupid. If that was the case, it was smarter to help each other more than ever. The problem is, probably was Sugumi. That was what I thought. Maybe she had some grudge against Takeshi and the others from before, or maybe she was imagining everything and just paranoid. Or maybe she was trying to make me paranoid about the others and draw us into conflict. Or something else. Well, I definitely know I'm pretty paranoid right now. Really hope there's other people on this ship still. No, I had to stop it. It was too crazy. That was all just my imagination working overtime. Nothing but paranoia. I had to try to be that severity of the situation. It had to be that the severity of the situation was putting incredible mental strain on everyone. I want to trust everyone and to be trusted. So I would continue to treat everyone as I had up until then. That was what I decided. Rather than worrying about who to trust, we need to worry about how the situation could have happened. If we knew the cause, we might be able to think of a way out. I remember that Sugumi had said something else.
あの時と同じことをしようとしてるじゃないの。
You're trying to do the exact same thing that you did before. I wondered about my ability to foresee events. Was I repeating the past? I wondered if I really did travel in time. Finally, I arrived back at the infirmary, but there was no longer anyone there. Oh, great. Please don't tell me everyone just disappeared. Huh? Where did everybody go? Maybe they're in the conference room? Hey, Sora! I called out to her through the microphones in the room, but there was no reply. Sora had said that the complex's sensors were not yet functioning everywhere. I figured that I'd just have to go searching myself. I sighed and headed out into the corridor. Oh, that's right. I had an idea. The security office was nearby. I could use the observation monitors there. I might be able to see what was going on. And maybe find out where everybody was. So I made for the security office. When I entered the office, I saw you. Oh, thank God. Woo! Alright. Yeah, I would have been really freaked out if everyone just suddenly disappeared. She was slouching loosely in a chair. You? What are you doing here?
なんだ少年か。やっほー。
Hey kid, how you doing? Pretty heavy you-centric story today. You swiveled her neck around and greeted me. She couldn't be bothered to shift her body. Where's everybody else? What happened to Sarah?
マヨは救護室の下にある加減圧室で休ませたよ。
She's resting in the decompression chamber below the infirmary. You straightened up. She added that Sarah said she wanted to be alone, so I best not bother her. I see.
空は制御室でお仕事。館内の設備の点検と調整。
Sora had work to do in the control room. She's checking and adjusting the complex. What about Takeshi?
クラナリのことなんて知らないよ。
I don't know what's up with Kiranari.
去り際にお酒が飲みたいとかなんとか言ってたからどこかで一杯やってるかもね。
When he left, he was saying something about wanting a drink. He might be having a beer or something. Huh? A beer in Lemieux? You shrugged as if to say, who knows?
そういうそっちはどうだったの？つぐみは？
What about you? How did things go with Tsugumi? Not good. She wouldn't listen. She just took off somewhere. I decided not to say anything about Tsugumi's silly suspicions.
まあそんなとこだろうと思った。
Well, I guess that's how things stand then. So, what are you doing here, you? You can't access the database for a while, right?
うん、もちろんそっちはしばらくお預けだよ。
Right, so I'm taking a break.
今は館内をモニターで見て回りながら脱出方法を考えてるの。
Right now, I'm looking at Lemieux through the monitors and trying to think of a way to escape.
まだ何も思いつかないんだけどね。
I haven't thought of anything yet. You went back to typing on the keyboard. The images on the monitors changed again and again. Takeshi appeared in one of them. Hey, that's Takeshi.
そうみたいね。
Looks like it. Is that the rest area?
そうみたいね。
Looks like it. I wonder what he's doing. Please don't say it looks like it.
さあね。
Who knows? Wow, she's so depressed right now after getting locked out of this system. Depressed, despondent, or just sad? Maybe a little deflated. Yeah, that's a better word, deflated. Those other words are too harsh. Takeshi was sitting on a bench. He had a can of beer in his hand. As you had said, it looked like he was having a drink. So there really is beer here. Thinking about it, I realized that Takeshi knew the kiosk freezers by heart now. Maybe it was something that an employee or someone had sneaked in. What I didn't understand was why there was one more beer. Huh? Rather, why the can was open and sitting next to Takeshi. It'll get flat if he leaves it like that. Of course, there was no one there. Takeshi lifted his can in the direction of the can next to him and muttered something, but we couldn't hear what. I wondered if he was drunk. Okay, so he's either drunk, gone insane, or is talking to someone who's not there. That could be Sora, but why would Sora have a drink? Because she can't drink. Or could that be us? Like the other kid? Or maybe... No, we would be too young to get a drink. Who is he drinking with? He looked dangerous. Uh-oh.
まったく何やってんだかあのアホは。
Jeez, what is that fool up to? You punched some keys and switched to a less unsightly scene.
さてちょっと休憩しよっと。
Okay, time to take a break. You jumped out of a chair and headed for the coffee machine. I want one too.
あいよ。
Alright. Where's the sugar and milk?
そんなもの入れるんだ。お子様ね。
What? You take sugar and milk? You're like a kid with a sweet tooth. I can drink it however I want, can't I?
まあいいけどね。この引き出しに入ってたと思うけど。
Sure, whatever. I think they're in that drawer. I took the sugar pot and milk bottle out from the drawer.
コーヒーは苦いからコーヒーなのよ。
Coffee is coffee because it's bitter? Maybe that's why I don't like coffee. Like, I seriously don't drink coffee ever since I was a kid. When our Spanish teacher had a fiesta and someone tricked me into thinking that you had to drink the Cuban coffee in an actual cup instead of like a shot glass because Cuban coffee is really strong. And I ended up staying up the entire weekend unable to sleep because of that Cuban coffee. So ever since then, I've never drinking coffee. You said that as she poured coffee into our cups.
不純物を入れたコーヒーなんて福神漬けのついたインドカレーみたいなものね。
Coffee with impurities is like a hamburger made out of chicken.
まあ君もいずれわかる時が来るよ。
Someday you'll understand, kid.
はいどうぞ。熱いですよ。
Here's your whittle muck wink, baby. God, so hard to say. Okay, stop making fun of me. Oh, shush. I dribbled a little milk into the cup that she gave me. I went to add sugar, but there was no spoon, so I just decided to pour it from the sugar pot. You know that black coffee is bad for your stomach, right? Yeah, exactly. You're telling me sugar's bad, well, black coffee's bad? I guess. I don't know if that's true or not.
そんなのは100も承知よ。体に悪いからってこの世界から喫煙者はいなくならないでしょ。
I know that and 100 other things that are bad, but smoking is bad for you and there are still smokers. Fair point. Besides, when you're tired, sweet things give you a surge of energy. Oh my god. Coffee is supposed to give you a surge of energy. So if you add more energy to energy, you're gonna be wired up non-stop, aren't you? I was in an argumentative mood. But then my hand slipped and sugar went cascading into my cup. Alright, well, add energy to an infinite amount of energy, and we've reached was there a Futurama episode where Fry drank like 100 cups of coffee and like stopped time? That's what I'm thinking is going on here. Oh no.
これで明日の疲れまで吹き飛ぶってものね。
There you go, that should give you a surge of energy until tomorrow. More like until next week. Hey, I was thinking.
何を？
Thinking what? I didn't tell you.
だってあまりにもくだらないんだもん。
This is silly. You said that and sipped a coffee indifferently. What if what I said is that I could sense the future? I decided to tell you about my theory. I really wanted to hear what she thought. I mean, yesterday in the generator room, the trouble this morning with Takeshi, and when I first met Sarah?
そんなのただのデジャブでしょ。
That's just deja vu. Deja wahoo?
既視感とも言ってね。一度も経験したことのないことがいつかどこかですでに経験したことであるかのように感じられること。
When you've never done something, but you can't shake the feeling that you've seen or done it before. So what she's saying is we're all stuck in the Matrix. Got it.
でもね、それは深層心理の中の似たような記憶がそう感じさせるだけで。
But you know, that's really just when you have some memory deep in your mind that makes something feel familiar.
要するにただの錯覚なの。
It's just a kind of hallucination. It's not. This wasn't like that. I think I've experienced the same kind of thing in the past.
で、結局のところ何が言いたいわけ？
And what's your point? I think that maybe I traveled through time. All the dots. And that I came back here to the past from the future. All the dots. I think it helps to explain my lost memories somehow. She's not buying it, is she?
で、その説明っていうのは？
And how does it explain your memory? Oh, that's hard to explain. But
君の思考回路は一体どうなってるわけ？
what is going on in that head of yours?
どこをどうひねくり回すとタイムスリップなんて考え方が出てくるのよ。
What got all twisted up in there to make you come up with some crazy idea about traveling through time?
それとも君、未だに天動説を信じてる派？
Or are you one of those people that believe the sun circles around the earth? but right now, this...
オッケー。
Okay. You held her palm at me like a chocolate cup.
100歩譲って、万歩譲ってタイムスリップしたとしてもよ。
Okay, let's say for argument's sake that you did travel through time. So what?
それと記憶を失ったことにどんなつながりがあるっていうの？
What connection could that possibly have with your missing memory?
全くもって意味不明だよ。
You make absolutely no sense. All the dots.
いい？この世にはタイムスリップなんて存在しないの。
Listen, there's no such thing as time travel.
論理的にも科学的にも不可能なの。
Theoretically and scientifically, it's impossible. I decided to drink my coffee. It was so sweet that it made me almost want to vomit.
水が高いところから低いところに向かって流れるように、時間は過去から未来へ向かって流れるのよ。
Water flows downhill and time flows forward. It's simple.
川の流れと同じ。
It's like a river.
絶対不可逆なの。
There is no going backward. But I groaned, but I wasn't giving in without a fight. Are you sure? All the questionable dots? Water doesn't always flow down, does it?
今度は反重力物質がなんたらかんたらとか言い出すつもり？
Huh? Now what? Are you going to explain it all with some anti-gravity substance? Yeah, what does it mean by that? Because, like rivers start up in mountains because they go down into large body of water. The water can't travel up a mountain.
もしくは宇宙空間は真空ではなくエーテルの満ちた空間でとか？
Or something like space isn't a vacuum but is full of ether? What is ether? That's not what I mean. It's not like that. What I mean is, I looked around the room. There had to be something to convince you, like, my eyes stopped on the coffee machine. The water in the lower container was boiling, warmed by the flame of the alcohol lamp. The water was siphoned by the central pipe into the upper chamber by the pressure of the steam. This is it. Look, water doesn't always slow down, see? Okay, I guess, but I don't think that's exactly what she meant. All the dots. You didn't say anything. She simply looked at the gurgling water. She's like, you're an idiot. Hey, are you listening? That's it! Whoa, what's it? You suddenly stood up shouting. Ouch! You bumped my arm and spilled my coffee everywhere. Ah! It got on my arm and her coat. Ew. All that sugar on it. It's gonna smell. But you ignored it, handed her cup to me, and went bursting out of the room. She shot out of there like a rocket. What's going on? I quickly put the cups down and went after her. You? You was heading to the west. She climbed the emergency corridor and ran down the spiral staircase. When I finally caught up with her, I found myself in the central control room. What is going on? You and I dashed into the room. There was Sora. She was in front of the console with both hands together. She was quiet, her eyes closed. It was like she was meditating. The LED of the computer in the room was responding by flickering repeatedly. But when Sora noticed our presence, she opened her eyes and smiled. What is it, Tanaka-san? Kid-san? I thought of a way to escape! You shouted in between breaths. Way to escape? Really? You did? Well, try taking some breaths first. Are you alright? I'm fine. I'll be fine after I rest. That's so weird. She's taking deep breaths, but it's in quotes. I guess she's saying that under her breath, deep breath. You put a hand on her chest as she breathed, deeply trying to catch her breath. Then, hey Sora, why can't we escape from here? Stupid, it's because Lemieux was flooded with water. Enough, I'm not asking you, be quiet. Ouch. Oh, the scolded dots. Sora, answer me. It is, as Kid-san said, it is because Lemieux is inundated with seawater. I still can't say that word. The water has blocked passage to Insel Null via the elevator and emergency stairs. Thus, all avenues of escape have been closed off. Okay, so you mean that if we could get rid of all of the water in the Lemieux, we could escape? Yes. However, within the limited wastewater pumps still functioning, it is impossible. It's no problem. You stopped Sora at that point. What? You got an idea? The floating island has to have a high pressure intake fan, right? A high pressure fan? A device to send in a mix of high pressure gas to increase air pressure in the complex. Yes, it is exactly as you say. In that case, why don't we use the high pressure fan to pump in high pressure gas, which will then push out the water? Okay. Huh? Yeah, I love when the protagonist has a page.
中の水はストローから出てくるでしょ。
If you blow air into a straw that's in water, the water comes out of the straw, right? Oh, I get it.
理論上は可能です。
Theoretically, it is possible.
でしょ。だったら
I told you, let's do it.
そして私も最初に検討した手段の一つです。
And it is one of the methods that I considered initially. Uh-oh. Huh?
つまり残念ながらそれは不可能なのです。
In other words, unfortunately, it is impossible. Oh, why is it impossible?
どうして？
Why? Exactly.
送風機はここからでは動かすことができません。
Because we can't activate the fan from here.
エレベーターが動かなくなったのと同じ理由で原因は不明です。
It is the same as with the reason the elevator is out of order. The cause is unclear. All the dots.
誠に残念なことです。
It is very unfortunate. All the dots. Yu's shoulders slumped up dejectedly. Yu. I put my hand on Yu's back. She turned and smiled an empty smile.
適当。いいアイデアだと思ったんだけどな。
Dang it, I thought it was a good idea too. I thought it was a good idea, Yu. It just is impossible.
もう一度最初から考え直すとしますか。
I guess I'll have to rethink it. But her words sounded devoid of the spark she shown earlier. Aww. So much disappointment today for you. Huh? Only then did you finally notice the coffee stains.
いやー、何よこれ。シミになっちゃう。
Oh yuck, this has got a stain for sure.
更衣室の隣にランドリーがありますから、そこで洗濯をなさってはいかがでしょう。
There is a laundry room right next to the changing room. Why don't you wash it there?
幸い服の着替えはあることですし。
Fortunately, you have a change of clothes as well.
そうだね。
Well, that's true. You took an area of her coat that was stained black and held it to her nose.
砂糖臭い。
Yuck, this stinks like sugar. Yeah, I told you it would stink. You mean it smells like coffee. Haha. That was what I wanted to say, but I just barely held my tongue. It's also super sticky. Like, I remember one time I was drinking root beer by my computer. I spilled the root beer all over my keyboard. And I cleaned it to the best I can, and everything was fine. And then a day later, the keyboard was hard as a rock, and none of the keys worked. But I've spilled water on my keyboard before, and I've cleaned it up, and my keyboards work fine because there's nothing sticky in water. So, it was a new day! Kid/U, the first eye. Wait a second. At the top of the screen, it says Kid/U. Does that mean we're in the end game now? Already? Because normally when you have that, the two names, it's because you're at the final stage of the game. It was a new day. Or the final stage of the route, I should say. Yu said she was going to change clothes and had gone up to the second floor. Sora went back to work, but we still have so much that we haven't done in this route. I mean, we haven't gone to Himmel yet. Sarah, she was probably sleeping in the compression chamber. Takeshi was supposedly filthy drunk in the park rest area, but then again, he was never drunk. So much about this route is different from Takeshi's. Sugumi had come back. I had no idea where she'd gone. Okay, I have a theory. I'm gonna posit this theory. Y'all ready for this theory? We're playing two different universes. There's the Takeshi universe, and there's the Kid universe. So when we're playing as Kid, we're actually playing a different existence, dimension. Maybe universe is the wrong word. Maybe dimension is the right word. When we're playing as Kid, we're playing in an entirely different dimension than when Takeshi was playing. However, there are times along both of our journeys where the dimensions slowly overlap and then unfold. That's why the number keeps going from 5 to 6, because someone is jumping back and forth between dimensions at random. It's almost like a sine curve, overlap with a cosine curve. The two curves are going to meet at specific points. As a matter of fact, that's what the infinity symbol looks like, right? It looks like a sine and a cosine curve. There's points along the curves which overlap, but then there's points where they don't overlap. Is that what's happening here? Me, I was in the conference room. In the middle of the table was a three-dimensional image of Lemieux. I was staring at it and trying to come up with escape plans. At that point, I hadn't even hit upon a single one. Any plan would fall apart before I even got it fully developed because of my limited knowledge. But I didn't intend to give up. I thought if I could just find a starting point. I wanted to get back at you somehow. The door opened and somebody came in. Looking back, I saw that was you. She had changed into a work uniform.
なんだ、こんなところにいたのか。探したよ。
Oh, so this is where you are. I was looking for you. The ribbon on her outfit shook rhythmically as she walked toward me. Are your clothes dry?
うん。乾燥機が壊れていたの。
Nope, the dryer is broken.
どうせだからしばらくこっちの服でいようかなって。
These clothes will do for a while anyway.
ねえ、レミューのホログラムなんて表示して何やってたの？
Hey, what are you doing with that Lemieux hologram? I'm just looking.
ひょっとして脱出方法を考えていたとか？
You are trying to think of a way out, are you? Well, all I've got is time on my hands. I lied to her. Embarrassed, I couldn't tell her the truth.
ふーん。
Enough about that. Aren't you going to sleep?
コーヒー飲みすぎちゃってね。眠れないの。
I drink too much coffee, so I can't sleep. Well, yeah, that'll do
そ
it.
れにいろいろ考えたいこともあるし。
Besides, there are lots of things I want to think about. How about that? Same here.
コーヒーが？考え事が？
What, the coffee or the thinking? Both?
なんだ。そっか。奇遇だね。
Wow, that's weird. You laughed dryly as she said that.
じゃあさ、ちょっと付き合ってくれないかな。
Hey, how about keeping me company? Are you going somewhere?
うん。考え事するのにちょうどいいところだと思う。
Yeah, well, in order to think, you gotta be in the right place to put you in the mood. Some place of mind?
第三視点、ゆかりの地。
Yeah, a place connected with the third eye. The third eye. When the third eye opens, true wisdom is apparent and all becomes visible. The power of ancient, ultimate knowledge. Proof of a transcendental state beyond that of normal people. The place that you led me, the dolphin carousel, was...
じゃあ、
Nope,
入ろっか。
the Lemurian ruins. I'm wrong. Shall we go in? You walk toward a stone gate which rose out of a dimly lit dome. Can I ask you a question before we go in? I mean, the dolphin carousel is like where you like surprise people, so I was just thinking that's where she wanted to go.
どうぞ。
Sure. Why do the Lemurian ruins have something to do with the third eye?
ああ、そのことね。
Oh, that.
あれね、嘘なの。
That, I lied. Well, turnabout's fair play, I guess. What?
本当は関係なんてないの。
To tell you the truth, they're not related.
意味なんかない。
There's no meaning at all.
ただ、そういえば少年はついてくるかな。
I just thought if I said that, then you'd come along with me. All the dots.
一人でぐじぐじ考えるのって性に合わないから、誰かそばにいてほしくて。
Thinking about things all by myself doesn't really suit me. I need someone else around. All the dots.
怒った？
Are you mad? No, not really. I was just thinking that you don't seem the type to be governed by random illogical thoughts.
そうかな。
Really? Yeah.
でも本当はちょっぴり関係あるのかも。
But actually, there might be a connection. You turn your gaze to the ruins.
お母さんがレムリア大陸を調査するふりして自分の研究の方をやってるって話したよね。
I told you about how my mom was doing her own research while pretending to study the Lemurian continent, right?
そのお母さんにとって第三視点とレムリアとの関連性はなくてはならない存在だったの。
It seems like she was completely hooked on researching the third eye.
なんでかわかる？
Do you know why? Because she was conducting research in the name of Lemuria?
そう。だからお母さんは話をでっち上げることにしたの。
Yeah, so my mom went to study the third eye, pretended there was a connection with Lemuria, and wrote about it. One theory has it that the people of Lemuria were giant apes that were 4 meters tall. They had walnut-covered skin, there were no differences between males and females. They laid eggs, and they communicated via telepathy. And they had a third eye in the back of their heads. Telepathy and the third eye, this has something to do with the third perspectives. Drawing on the idea that our vertebrate predecessors had 3 eyes. So the ancients, especially Lemurians, may well have been races that mastered the use of this power. And based on the facts discovered, I conclude
第三視点のルーツはレムリアにあると。
that the origin of the third eye is Lemuria. Alright, so are we in Yu's endgame? I don't know. I may title the next part use endgame because I see it at the top, but I'm unsure. We're gonna go ahead and take a break here though, my friends. Thank you for everything. I love you all so very much, and I'll see you in the next part of our blind let's play Ever 17, the Out of Infinity for the PC. My name is FlightlessBird. This is Toby's Gaming Channel. Until next time, so long and take care. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to comment on what you saw and what you would like to see next. I always love to hear your thoughts. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more. Also, please do not forget, you matter. You are brilliant and you are loved. And you should always remember to be true to yourself. Don't let the world tell you any different. Much love to you from your friendly feathered flightless bird. Till next time.